Alright. Here we go, you ready?
So we're in solitary.
Alright. Not sure if there's ever been this many people in solitary confinement.
More.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How many people think we're in this room?
Oh, no, like, investigating
Oh,
got a lot
investigating.
more. But no,
But there would have been one person.
one person. That flashlight came on a minute ago.
Oh, nice.
Anybody in here with us? That's a double bargain. Do you ever get bored sitting in here? Thinking about all the things you shouldn't have done?
That's my stomach. What kind of crime did you do to be put in this room?
Of course, the dog's got to start barking as soon as we start.
Shut up!
I'm going to turn this so you guys can see this if I turn this over. So this is reading EMF. And if anything gets close to that, it does that. If it touches it, it goes crazy. Let me reset it because I pushed it. Alright, we want to talk to you. Are you willing to talk to us tonight? Kim? There she is.
Told you.
Thank you. Can you turn that light off for us? Nice. So if you can read that card just sitting on the floor, that one says yes. This one next to it says no. So if we ask you some questions, can you maybe respond to us by using that flashlight or touching this antenna for no? I bet you can't wait to get out of here, huh? If there's anybody in here and we're talking to them, is this by chance a male? A man in here?
Are you hungry?
We have a K2 meter here too. Right there.
Yeah, I've been watching it. If you're hungry, can you tell us what you want?
Alright, let's play it back, see what we got. There was something right there.
Get out? Let's get out.
Right. There's some whisper going on there. Yeah, well, whisper. Mm. Alright, so you notice how everything sounds like it's on top of each other? If there's nothing behind it, it goes real quick like that.
I was wondering, like, you know, it was longer, wasn't it?
That's one of the beauties about this recorder. You know, if we're running this one back and we've run it for 5 minutes, we have to listen to 5 minutes or something. If there's nothing there, you know, and they hum going, that's one of the beauties of this. You don't have to listen to all that mess. So there was some, what we call chatter in there, like you heard some whispering going on, but nothing clear yet.
Yeah, keeps trying to flashlight.
I got a real good EVP from last weekend. We were at a place called the Cabin on 360. And there's 2 houses and a patch of woods in the back that had like ties to the Civil War and stuff. And one of the ladies that was with us was like a medium or something like that. And she goes, "Can we walk over here in this area?" And I'm like, "Sure, let's go." So we walk over there and I let her do the EVP session, do the questions because, you know, she was feeling something over there. And then she got all wobbly and grabbed my arm. And during the questions, I heard something over here, right? And when we played it back, it was a woman's voice going, "Yes, I'm here." Clear as a bell.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was the best EVP of the whole night. Alright, so it's going again. We're still here, just in case you're wondering. Are you from Jasper? Is that somebody's stomach?
Might have been mine.
How long has your stay been here? Do you know this fellow sitting on the floor right here? If you know him, could you say his name for us? Now, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Because I need you to talk a little louder for us so we can make it out and understand it. And if you did dogs and peanut butter. We brought some things for you to do. Now you must get bored in here. Brought you a book, some pictures to look at right here. Even brought you some lights. We call them a flashlight, and I'm sure you probably call them that as well.
Can you try and light one of these flashlights up on the bed for us, please? There's 2 of them. Or maybe the one on the floor again. Give us a sign that you're here, please.
Here's the base of the distance. Do you know the 2 gentlemen that were hung outside here, outside the jail? Isn't that crazy? You just sit here and talk to yourself in the dark all night long.
All night.
I love it. And that's pretty much what we do is we do different things all throughout the night, and then when we get a hit on a question, then we just kind of go off of that, you know what I mean?
Go on with it.
You hear that right there? Yeah, that's it, Jasper.
I'm from Florida.
There's some whispering going on there.
I'm from Florida.
Yeah? Can you hear?
That sounds like me. With my stomach. I think I might have said that might have been mine.
He said.
That's me.
Sounds like I'm from Florida.
But listen, after that, there's some whispering. There was a response there, you can't really make it out about asking what your name is. That's the only bad thing about this recorder. It was created in the late 80s, early 90s, so the clearness of it is not always clear. We have gotten super clear ones,
Yeah.
but see, that's the difference in the new ones and the old ones. The new one's going to be super clear, but it's not going to pick up everything like this. I can turn this off here.
I'm just gonna sit in this chair.
Should we try the yes or no again?
You can? Or are you gonna use a flashlight or no?
Man, I just got really tired. They draining you.
How did that happen now? We were in Tennessee. No, we were in North Carolina. And something drained my shit, man. I was done. And I don't, when we do this shit, I don't sleep. I'm the one that's up all day long like a fool. Everybody else is snoozing. Not me. Alright, so that's the yes one there. flashlight on the no.
Why is it going on?
What is that?
Just doesn't know around.
When it blew.
I don't know. Maybe it's it. It might be that. We're not gonna be able to use that right there.
Try and put it on that chair right there.
Hope the ghost sits right on top of it.
That'd be awesome.
Now, in theory, if something just touches flashlight to turn it on, the bed should move, which should trigger the cat ball and all this other stuff to go off.
Did the obelisk turn off?
No, it's still on. Last thing he said was American.
American?
American. You want to put the speaker on so we can hear it better?
It doesn't have a port.
It doesn't?
No. It's not like the 5.
I'm gonna listen to this too, see if we can hear anything. Boy, that's loud. Everything echoes when you have that on.
Yeah.
Hello? I got one ear on, one ear off. What name did we give this doll last night? Have y'all named this doll before?
Nah.
Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Sure.
So the laser grid, you see that? That is if something, you see how the shadow blocks out the squares?
Mm-hmm.
That's the theory behind that. I have that one, then we have another one that lights up and tells you where the movement is on it and all that. There's one time I had something actually go through that grid. We were in a church in Virginia, and something actually walked from left to right through the dots. You can see it.
That's insane.
The weird part was we were in that church and two ladies just started singing out of nowhere.
Really?
Yeah, and once that stopped, then we call it something walking across. All right, do we know the sheriff's name at all? Any sheriffs?
Right now, Sheriff Reed.
Reed?
It would have been Sheriff Reed back then too. He was the
Really?
father. Mm-hmm.
Is he still living?
No. Sheriff Reed, the one we have now, is. He's in his late 70s.
So they're, you know, not the original, but the older sheriff, he would have stayed here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll use that name then.
He would have been like one of the last ones in here.
Dropped it. All right, the recorder's going here next to me, over here on this chair. Sheriff Reed, are you here? Sheriff Reed. All right, he's going. Is anybody in here with us tonight? If you are in here, could you tell us your name, please, so we know who we're speaking to? Do you know anybody that's sitting in the room right now? Hey Dan, were you moving around just now?
No.
Thought I heard something moving.
I'd like to speak to the sheriff about the prisoner that we're bringing in today. They're waiting outside. What should I do with them?
I think we should put them in the drunk tank. What do you think?
Drunk tank or solitary? Where do you want them?
Can you move this doll that's on the bed? You feel that? I just felt the floor vibrate. Jump over it. Were you moving, Dan?
Nope.
Alright, so somebody was here once before and this doll that's on the bed moved.
I don't believe it unless I see it.
If that thing moved, rule number one, it goes on no running.
I was gonna ask if you just ran.
No, nothing's freaked me out to where I need to run.
Do you have the power to move that doll?
I don't think they do. So we're thinking about giving this doll's name, name it Charlotte. Is that okay with you? Let's play this back. Now, one time we were at Walnut Sanitarium upstate New York. And they have a doll room there. And the doll room got started by Nick Groff because when they did the episode of Paranormal Lockdown there, they brought a doll, and it, like every time somebody goes there, they put a doll in the room.
Huh.
So it's filled full of dolls. The last time I was there, I slept in there both nights.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, when we went
Bankrupt.
2 years ago, we donated a doll to the doll room. And we laid it in the floor with the rest of them. And we were doing it like we were just doing, you know. We go, we got a doll here, we go donate to the room. Do you want to give the doll a name? And we were on Facebook Live. And clear as day on the recorder, we got the name Patty.
Really?
Yeah. Patty. That's the name they gave it.
Is that what you named it?
That's what the EVP we got back said, Patty.
Wow. Yeah, definitely would have been Patty.
It was a woman doll too. It was a blue, had a blue dress on. There's something there. I can't really make it out. We get some chatter on that thing. That's interesting, because that's when I heard.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah.
I know.
It sounded like a rough no.
Dang it.
God damn it, Charlotte.
We get lippy sometimes.
I'm watching the temperature climb.
On the
Mm-hmm.
EDI. Oh, look at that. So that, oh, so there's something in the area that to make the temperature fluctuate.
I'd really like to see you go over and touch that dog.
I'm sure they like dogs. Sheriff, you like dogs?
Lay down on the bed.
Messed up if that's the case.
Maybe you can be the only spirit to make that board light up. Nobody's ever made it light up yet. Maybe you could be the first one to show us. That would be really cool. Charlotte, put your hand on that board.
That would be amazing, because the board would move, the light would come on.
Everything will go off.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, if that dog just lifted his arm up and just put it on the board, I'd probably run out of here.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, we're recording right now, but that's cool. Sometimes when we just talk like this, we get some things too. That bed did move last night. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
it definitely should. Oh, you are recording right now?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
Charlotte, you need to brush your hair.
Dye it black.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder. You know, they had that video of the dog move, but did the dog really move?
Mm-hmm.
Being a paranormal investigator, when I hear things like that, and you see things like that,
That's
I kind of don't
poltergeist.
believe it, because, you know, 'cause as many places I've been and seen and tried to do and experience, you know, I don't know.
You never had something that defined.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a K2 meter, right there, slide across the floor, and the caretaker says it go road.
Really?
Yeah, about that far.
What about the Ghost Adventures brick?
I find anything to believe that Zach does is hard to believe. Mr. Bacon's. I stopped watching that show a while back, man. And this is why. Let me stop recording for a sec. Me and my son, my son was probably like 9 or 10, and he's 20 now. We were watching the Halloween Live episode.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to be able to comment at the bottom of the screen, and it would scroll across. This particular night, I forget where they were. They were in a big old building, and they had an old guy on there who had made a 6-foot tall Tesla machine. And it was zipping and zapping. I mean, I don't have one, but Dan has not a Tesla machine, but what is that thing called?
That's a Tesla coil.
It's a Tesla coil. They're loud as shit. If you never experienced one, they're
Mhm.
super freaking loud. So I can only imagine what a 6-foot tall one would sound like. So they come back from break, and this old fellow is walking through the room going, "Touch me, yeah, do this," with the K2 in his hand, and it went flying across the room. And I jumped up at the chair and said, ain't no goddamn way that thing, you know, he had to throw it. And my son was like, just looking in shock. So I continued watching, but I'm like, there's no way that thing flew into that guy's hand like that. We watched the following week to see what they caught. Very first thing that come on was that guy and Zach apologizing to the fans. Got to do fake that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, I've never watched that show because of that episode. Because they fake shit.
Yeah.
Think about it. We're sitting here in the dark. It's slow. It's quiet. This is how it goes. You know, when they're filming the episode somewhere, they're there for a week. They show you 41 minutes of something that they might have caught.
That's what I heard. Is they're not locking down on one night.
Yeah, they're there for days, and they show you 41 minutes of something. And I don't want to say they fabricate things, but if they continue showing you a show, they don't catch nothing. You gonna keep watching?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Except for that one episode where the guy had the devil in his house. You know what I'm talking about, the black guy?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't catch
Now,
him.
some of the old episodes of Paranormal State, I don't know if you remember that show or not,
Mm-hmm.
with Ryan Buell. There was a couple episodes there where I think they were in West Virginia, and this girl was possessed, and they had to do an exorcism on her. I don't know if you remember that episode or not.
Mm-hmm.
That was some crazy shit. And even crazier than that, a couple of episodes later, they were in a different state, and it led them back to that location.
Really?
Yeah, this shit was wild, man. That was a good show. This Chip Coffey came from that show. Katrina Wildman came from that show. They all started on that show. Brian Kano, another dude from Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was on that show.